Y'all, greetings, y'all. This lady on the left that's only showing half of herself, her channel is amazing, and y'all should go subscribe to her. She really just dials in and just makes it simple. Uh, this video is about what makes a man think there's red flags in a relationship. This other woman is asking, essentially.
Also, too, like, what are your red flags? What makes you lose interest? I'm curious because I myself have I know what I feel and what I do for men. And, my girls similarly kind of feel the exact same way. But because men and women think differently, I would like to get your opinion. I would like to hear your point of view.
Easy. Men want a woman that reciprocates effort, is loyal, and is simply nice. And the biggest red flag that will make him lose absolutely all interest is basically anything that indicates that he's not the only man getting her attention. Because to that man, that would be a very poor investment in his time and energy. He would much rather be saving that time and effort for a woman that does reciprocate. Or he'd rather honestly just be single.
Exactly. I mean, you couldn't really put it much simpler than that. I wish you could rewind shorts to the point where you wanted it to be. I don't think you can do that. Oh, you can do that. I've never been able to do it before. That's weird.
Easy. Men want a woman that reciprocates effort, is loyal, and is simply not.
Okay. Reciprocate and is loyal. Reciprocates the effort, right? Is loyal and is simply just nice, just kind. Be kind to me. Like, that's all I could probably count 400 or 500, maybe 1,000 different times I told New World Order Fire, all I want you to do is be nice to me. Like, don't talk to me every sentence like you snark in a snarky, hateful way, like you absolutely, utterly despise being with me in all regards. Like, it doesn't really start, flourishing the love of my heart, real easy. It's not like, oh, yeah, it's really giving me a burning desire to be in love with you still. You know what I mean? Yeah. So reciprocate the effort. If you see a man working his ass off and he didn't even require you to work, or if you only work like 15 or 20 hours a week, and then you do a little bit of housework and cooking. I'm not saying housework and cooking ain't work, because it is. But there's some days it's easier than others, and it depends on whether you have children. And I mean, full-time housework is a lot of work too. So, that's reciprocation. That's of the effort, that the man is putting in towards working himself. I'm not saying that the man always has to be the breadwinner. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with a woman making more than the man. But that's all, everybody's own situation. And I don't think that women are the only ones that should have to do the dishes. Or I'm not saying any extremes here. I'm just saying, in the traditional sense, in a natural fluidity, where sometimes the man might do the dishes too, to be nice and kind. Okay, if there is not that reciprocation of effort, and the man is, literally in a traditional sense, killing himself, putting his body on the line, working himself to death. Some jobs are easier than others. My particular sets of different types of work always tend to be pretty hard work. So for me, I'm putting my body on the line. And I need that reciprocation of effort, at least through massage, or, when I come home, kiss me all up and down my neck. Try to turn me on, be sweet to me. Have a dinner ready for me. Rub my feet after we make love. Whatever it is. Put in the effort. Reciprocate my energy that I'm putting in towards our life. It's just really basic. And it doesn't even have to be equal. It just has to be like genuine effort. If you're weaker than me, then, it's not like I'm counting everything. Like, she did this on Wednesday, but she didn't do this on Thursday. But, you know what I mean? It starts to get like that if I see absolute sloth and now no reciprocation. It's like, dang, I do all this for you, but you don't even do some of these basic things, you know? So there's that. That's just really, it's really important. It shows your man that you respect him, that you appreciate his sacrifice for your family and your life together. And obviously a man shouldn't be working so much that he never gets to be with his wife. I think that when men take jobs like that, they're asking for their marriage to get disturbed. And I don't think that's a proper thing to do, within reason, of course. If it's a short time, like the dude needs to go off to a job to make a lot of money because it's a good paying job and he's got to be gone for 2 months, maybe every once in a while, that should be okay. Like once a year, maybe. But a woman shouldn't have to be left alone like that. You know, that's not fair to her, even if you are making the good money. So I don't think money is ever worth sacrificing your marriage, or the closeness of your marriage, or the intimacy of your marriage. And you should be able to do that 2-month work excursion. Hopefully you could just bring your wife with you, but you should be able to do that and not have to worry about fidelity. The fact that men have to worry about shit like that when they go to try to do something crazy like work on a king crab fishing ship or you know, an oil rig or some kind of job like that where it requires them to leave, or even whatever kind of work, construction or whatever, driving a truck, whatever it is. The fact that a man has to worry about fidelity, I'm talking about good men here. I'm not talking about the men who are going to drive the truck all across the country and get hookers and sleep around too. I'm talking about good men. If a good man has to worry, that's just terrible. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a terrible place to be as a man when you think, if I stay home and stay close to her, she's not going to be able to get away with anything. Meaning that the minute you step away, she's going to get away with it. That's not a marriage worth saving. You might as well just call her out and say, I know you're cheating, and we got a divorce because you know what I mean? Every chance I'm away for even 20 minutes, you're doing something crazy, you know.
And the biggest red flag that will make him lose absolutely all interest is basically anything that indicates that he's not the only man getting her attention. Because to that man, that would be a very poor investment in his time and energy. He would much rather be saving that time and effort for a woman that does reciprocate. Or he'd rather honestly just be single.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to use my situation because, you know, that's what I can use to relate to. So, if I hadn't have been wasting and investing my time, money, efforts, in my body itself, working towards a goal with New World Order to fire, I could have done something entirely different, and I could have been saving gold and silver for 5 years of my life that she robbed of me. Because I would have had to eat half the amount of food I bought. I eat a lot less when I don't have a wife or a girlfriend to cook for me, because that's just how I am. Like, I'll cook for myself. I don't have a problem with cooking and taking care of myself. It's not like I'm a bum who can't cook a meal. But I eat a lot more when I have somebody that will cook for me. And I need to focus on the things I need to focus on, not cooking. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Oh, and back to what she's just said. Like, if you're spending your energy towards some other man, like, you're wasting my fucking time. You know what I'm saying? If that's what's going on, like, this whole like disillusionment about adultery and sexual fidelity that has gone on for the past 50 years or 60 years and has gotten worse every year. Men are doing it too, as in, like, they're disillusioned about it too, and they're being brainwashed that, this is just natural and we're not supposed to be exclusive with each other and shit, basically. But it just seems like women are carrying the brunt of it all, because the women are the ones that were used to originally promote this dissolving of marriage through the feminist movement, okay? And I'm not about down pressing your wife and being a fucking dominating jerk, okay? But at the same time, males are supposed to be males and females are supposed to be females in their nature, okay? Even the organs in which we're also concerned with using in a wicked way, our sexual organs, even portray that naturally as the fact of what they look like. A man's thing is pointed out. It is, it pushes forward. It provides the seed, right? Whereas a woman's sexual organs is inward. It does not protrude out. It is the inverse, and it receives the seed. That is the very nature of the personality and aura and energy of a female, is very much reflective of its actual physical sexual representation and physical reality. Same for males. It's like that with all God's creation. Everything is plain to see. Okay? So I'm just going on a rant now, but I kind of lost track of where I was going. But you can't be the disillusionment about, you don't own me when you're dating somebody. It's like, no, I don't own you. I'm not a slave owner. I'm not a human trafficker. Of course I don't own you. It's different when you're married because you own each other. Not in a human trafficking way, but in, like, each other's body is each other's, right? Forever. That's why you don't share it with somebody else. But, like, if you're just dating somebody, it's not that I own you. It's that we're supposed to be together. If we're together, then you're not going to be fucking somebody else. It ain't about me owning you. It's about, we made an agreement to be together. It's that simple. You don't do that. You want to do that, then don't make the agreement. You want to fuck around, then don't be with somebody. You with somebody exclusively and you decide you want to fuck around, you better go and tell that person honestly, up front, and get it over with. Quit fucking breaking people's hearts. Quit fucking doing sly, nasty, dirty shit, because it perpetuates the cycle. A lot of men that walk away from these situations might end up doing the same very thing that they hated in the first place. Because they see it all around them and they can't do nothing but give in. Because they need somebody to touch them. They need somebody to love them and appreciate them, even if it's fleeting and for one night. That's what these men are turning to. And then it becomes something else. Instead of that, it becomes this constant, almost like heroin addiction, where they're just chasing after this ecstasy rather than anything other than that. And it has nothing to do with feeling appreciated, loved, or feeling the touch of a woman more than it is just absolute chasing the dragon of the drug of sex, right? So it's just endless cycle. The only solution is nuclear family and fidelity and monogamy, right? Traditional relationships. I'm not a prude. I'm not going to sit here and say that you absolutely are in the wrong if you have sex before you marry the person that you're in love with. I'm just saying, like, there is a reason that these values held sway. I think that's the way you say it. Held firm and has been a firm foundation of humanity, of all cultures, tribes, and tongues for thousands of years. It is the basis for our existence. It is what gives us backup. It's what we can lean on when we're in a troubled time. Is family. Okay, and I'm not talking about trusting men more than God or your family more than God. I'm just talking about the basic, simple fact that we all come from the Trinity, okay, which is the nuclear family unit, portrayed clearly in the name of the Most High Yahweh, okay, Yod Hey Wow Hey, male, female, male, female. And there was something I wanted to show you guys, another different video here. Let's see, it's in my history, or it should be in my history. Okay, so that's not it. It's in my shorts, I'm pretty sure. How do I look at my short history? Okay. That ain't it. Wait a minute, what was the video I was looking for here? Oh, maybe it wasn't a short. Here we go. Let's see here. I think this is it right here.
The top point is going to the moon right now, which means alt season has just begun. You don't want to miss out on this.
No, we're gonna get silver and
Before I play
gold.
this clip, I want you to look at this woman.
This is gonna blow your
and I
mind,
want you
guys.
to form an opinion about her. What kind of a person do you imagine she's going to be? When I look at her, I'm attracted to her. She's pretty. She's young. From her appearance, she looks fun to hang out with. She's tanned. Feels like the kind of girl you could go to the beach with. I notice that my mind makes all these unconscious assumptions about her based on her appearance, which is what we as humans do. When we see that somebody's outside appearance is very pleasant, then we imagine that their personality is going to be as well. The outside's going to match the inside. But is that true? Is the idea going to match up with the reality? Let's watch the clip and find out more about her personality.
Alright, so what's your name?
Hannah?
That's cute. Check this out. Look. First of all, do you have a boyfriend by chance?
Yes.
Oh, you do? Well, look, if you tell me the crazy secret, a secret your boyfriend's never found out. And if I find it crazy, I'll give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll give you $100 in cash right now if I find it crazy. If not, I'm walking off and I'm posting your secret. You in or you out?
I'm in.
Alright, so what's the secret? What's the secret you kept from your boyfriend? And I don't got that many followers too, so you can tell me anything.
Okay, so I'm supposed to be in Florida right now, and he gave me the money for a ticket.
Wait, so you're supposed to be in Florida right now?
Yes.
What you doing in LA?
I'm meeting up with the guy that I met off of Bubble.
And you have a boyfriend?
Yes, I have a boyfriend.
So keep going with the story real quick.
So I told him that my grandmother was sick and in the hospital, and I was just like acting really sad over the phone, crying, and he was like, he felt really bad. So I got the money from him, and then I'm here.
Okay, just to recap, she was on Bumble looking for somebody to cheat with. She didn't just...
See, I don't even know what Bumble is. Never even heard of it. And I know a lot more than I did before about this whole world, right? Because the New World Order fires crazy ass. But see, I don't even know what that is, Bumble. So it's another hookup site, I guess. So this girl, we all heard what she just said. Lied to her man, told her grandma was sick and she needed money to get to Florida to go see her grandma that's gonna die or she's sick or something. Dude gives her money. She goes to LA instead to hook up with some dude. This is abhorrent behavior. This is some of the most wicked, evil shit, man. And it's just common women. The women of today. They'll stab you in the back 40 times without even flinching. Like, if that's the shit you want to do, girl, get a job. Tell your man the truth and break up with his ass. You stop sucking his blood. I can't wait till he finds out that shit, man. Like, y'all need to repent.
Happened to randomly, meet this guy. She was specifically on a dating app trying to have an affair. She lied about her grandmother being sick and then faked being emotional, faked crying in front of her boyfriend so that he would feel sorry for her and then give her money so that she could fly, not to this fake grandmother who's sick, but to another city so that she could have sex with another man. I wonder what your idea of this woman was going to be. And did the reality completely shatter it? Did you imagine that she was going to be so completely lacking in empathy? When you looked at her, did you imagine she was capable of psychopathic behavior? That sort of video would have shocked me when I was younger because I thought that women were better than men, like they were morally superior. I truly thought that. I imagined that women as a gender were just more moral, more virtuous. You know, these sweet, gentle creatures that sort of need to be protected from like us brutish men. But that belief in the specialness of women cannot be maintained by anybody who has spent a prolonged period of time with women. The illusion just can't be maintained. It falls away because the truth is that women are not special. That's the reality. They're flawed, they're damaged, they're often petty and jealous. They can be resentful and spiteful just like men. Like, I'm not saying that men are superior. Absolutely not. Men can be total pricks. But if you don't yet know that the psychology of women can be every bit as dark as the psychology of men, then you really need to subscribe to my channel and watch more videos, because this illusion that you're operating under, this idea that you have, is very dangerous. It's out of touch with reality.
What is your craziest college confession?
I f***ed my ex-boyfriend's best friend just for fun.
Just for fun.
Oh, I f***ed all of his friends just for fun.
Yeah.
Why, when women are so obviously as morally degenerate as men?
Did you hear that? All my boyfriends' friends for fun. Both of them said that. They ain't joking. They ain't got no shame about it either. For fun. Behind his back, it ain't like he got his permission. Guys, this cannot go on. Like, there needs to be a serious revival in the realm of sexual purity and righteousness, and it doesn't have to be the inverse of this into sexual repression and shaming people when it comes to their sexual feelings. There's nothing wrong or sinful about having sex. Okay? As long as it's not outside of an exclusive, devoted relationship. Okay? I'll even remove my religious tone from it and just say that. I mean, even if we can reduce it to, it needs to be in exclusive, devoted relationships, that's when you have sex. You know, everything else, whatever, because it's like weaning people off of drugs. Like, you can't just cut them off. You start with that. Exclusive, devoted relationships, that's when you actually have intercourse. Everything else, you at least need to be riding steady, you know, going towards that direction. And then maybe kissing and holding hands and grabbing her booty without her pants being off. I'm talking about clothes on. You know, grabbing her booty every once in a while, making out. You know, that's for, you know, that's cool if you're not super serious yet, but you're dating and you're thinking you like her, you know. But then you step back even a little further and you're courting, and the initial experience of meeting each other. There should be no sexual contact within the first day. You see what I'm saying? There should be none of that. You should maybe a kiss on the hand if it was a really good date. You know what I mean? Gentleman stuff, right? It should never be just this, I meet you and we're fucking tonight. Like, I can see an accident happen, like you get sloppy drunk and you mess up and you shouldn't have done it, but you did. That's a little different, I suppose. But I'm talking about sober choices, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, that is just not reasonable for this shit to be happening. And for these women to think it's okay to do these things, like have sex with all of your boyfriend's friends. Okay. Like, damn. I mean, this is just off the chain. Am I fucking crazy here? Did the world of women just turn completely upside down overnight? Well, I posted a video about it and y'all didn't watch it. It's called the demoralization of the nations, or no, the subversion of the nations, the demoralization, or something about demoralization. Subversion of the nations, demoralization. It's got Yuri Bezmenov in it, former so-called ex-KGB agent, basically, telling Americans how they've been subverted through demoralization, and how this was like 1975 or 85 or something. He's saying it's been done for 10 years. Y'all need to go back and watch that video. Y'all didn't watch that shit. Where do you think this shit came from? This is purposeful engineering of sexual values in this direction. It's a fact. I mean, and if you read all these Illuminati stars in their books, they tell you that's what they're going to do. Read The Brave New World. They straight up tell you in that book, right? Like, the goal being, nobody has kids anymore. The children are born in test tubes, right? And there's a caste classing of people, right? Everybody has sex with everybody. You're given a soma once every day or whatever it is, which is a drug that is like the combination of a psychedelic tryptamine, like magic mushrooms or DMT or LSD, right? But it's like that mixed with an amphetamine, mixed with an opiate. So it's 3 drug classes for perfect mind control. And on top of that, it's you got pills and drugs being handed out to women and men in this Brave New World society in the book, right? That prevents pregnancy, that prevents feelings of intimacy towards one individual as in exclusively, that prevents falling in love and the hormones that women feel when they fall in love and want to have somebody's baby. As well as it's totally shunned if a woman or a man starts to feel like he or she wants to see the same person sexually, for more than a few nights in a row, and wants to be attached to that he or she. That's discouraged and illegal, basically, and you get snitched on if people see you having sex with the same person more than a couple nights, basically, and that's all discouraged. And you have a once a month orgy in the book, right? Every once a month there's an orgy where a bunch of, like, I guess there's like centers in the city, and like several, like some 20 to plus people in each center, or maybe it's more than that. Maybe it's like 100 plus. I can't remember exactly how it worked out, but a bunch of people get in these buildings all over the world and have an orgy, right? Or in the society, whatever it is, you know. What else is in that book? I think I covered all of it, basically. But and the children in the book, like, see, all the children are birthed in test tubes anyway, and then these children, when they're like, I think somewhere between 5 and 13 years old, are in a classroom where they encourage the children to unzip each other's clothing and to start learning about sex early. And so that starts the process of reducing sexual intimacy in an exclusive relationship, because from from early childhood they are taught that sex is just for fun and we're not supposed to feel anything other than pleasure. And that's what this book is written. And guess who wrote the book? Aldous Huxley, which is straight up a Freemason boy, Illuminati boy. He's in several different groups that are obviously suspect because they're straight up cultural engineers, like the Fabian Society, which the logo for the Fabian Society is a wolf taking his a wolf taking off his mask, which is a sheep mask. So the sheep in wolf's clothing, right? And the logo is the sheep's mask being taken off and is really a wolf. I mean, that's straight up their logo, y'all. So they have written this, they have planned it. It's not just an accident. It didn't come from nowhere. It has been in the works for a long time now. For the past, 50 to 100 years, they have been cranking this out. And look where we're at now. Look where we're at now. And people wonder why our world's falling apart. Well, we got to get this basic principle back in order and in correction and in truth and righteousness and goodness. And it's this issue, this moral conundrum of sexuality and marriage being totally flipped upside down. Because that's what everything is built on. It is the cornerstone. It's the foundation of us existing. And I'm not talking about a spiritual sense. I'm talking about in a very mundane, fleshly, raw, objective sense that no matter what belief you have about God or the Bible or any kind of religion, you can clearly see that what I'm saying is true, that we have this foundation of the nuclear family. And these fucking devil-ass whores and devil-ass men too, men are doing it too, but they're destroying it, man. And these women are making it 10 million times harder to have a family. And it has nothing to do with the assertiveness of men. Some men might have a problem being assertive and going for it and trying to get a date or whatever, but that's not an issue for me. I have no problem asking a girl out. None, period. Okay? And a lot of men like me are experiencing the same issue, right? And dating apps and all that stuff is just so impersonal and cold, and it just doesn't matter how good the app is, it's still impersonal and cold, and it's just, and a lot of it's shady and a lot of it's fake. There's bots on these websites, or they're all from another country, and you just, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so, everything's twisted, you know what I mean? I just want to meet somebody in real life. I want to go to a reggae show or something, a reggae festival, or do something basic, or go out to eat, or go for a coffee, meet a girl like that. I don't care what it is. I just want it to be real. And I want it to be reciprocated, like the lady said. Even in the dating stage, even in the introduction stage, like reciprocation. Like, and the other thing, ladies, is a good man is not going to jump past what he imagines your boundary line to be. If he don't know you yet, he's not going to jump to any conclusions or assumptions because he doesn't want to disrespect you. It's the last thing he wants to do. If he wants you, the last thing he wants to do is disrespect you and cross your boundaries. So you need to let men know clearly if you are interested, especially in a romantic action, like any kind of intimacy whatsoever, whether it's holding hands or having sex. You need to be clear. This is what I want. And yes, hold my hand. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be every time. It doesn't have to be so anal. You just need to open the door so we can walk in. We will not walk in until you open the door. And that's what you women are getting mixed up, that are good women looking for men, and they don't understand why these men aren't assertive enough. And it's like, you have to open the door to your house, which the house represents you, your body, your life, your intimacy, or your personal, headspace, you know what I mean? All that, right? You got to open the door so we feel like we've been given consent to go in, okay? Good men will not open the door of our own accord and cross the boundary of respect that you might have up. Like, if you're not ready for that, you better keep the door closed. If you need to crack the door so you can tell me something, then crack the door and tell me something. I'm not cracking the door. You want to open the door and let me all the way in, then you got to open it. I'm not just going to start kissing you if I don't know you want me to kiss you, because for all I know, I'll start kissing you and you're going to slap me. Or this whole mixed signal, or like making an assumption because you made a face at me, I know that you want it. No, you got to talk. You got to say it, like, kiss me. You say, kiss me, I'm going to kiss you. You see what I'm saying? You don't say it, and I don't know where I stand and what's going on, no matter how many dates we've been on. I'm not going to do it. Like, tell me. You know what I mean? Talk. Gotta say something. Nobody wants to say nothing. They're all nervous about it. They can't just talk about what's obviously the elephant in the room. Just say it. You know what I mean? Like, if we've known each other for a long time and you really love me and you really want to get down and start, making babies or some shit, you know what I mean? Like, say something, like, or do something that's so clearly obvious that I can't back down, because I can't because it's obvious you opened the door. You know what I mean? Start just making out with me. I'm gonna know what's the deal. You know what I mean? You don't gotta ask a dude for permission. You just do it and he'll tell you no or yes. You know what I mean? And yes means he's gonna keep going making out with you. No means he's gonna push you back a little bit. You know what I mean? You don't even have to, we don't have that boundary up necessarily. I'm not saying we don't have a boundary up about that, but it's a lot easier for a woman to just go ahead and kiss the man. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about men not making the first move. I'm talking about men done made the move, but you have not communicated clearly in any way, shape, or form that we're good to go. You know what I mean? You got to do that, because a good man will not make an assumption. Because too many times men like that have made the assumption and they get let down and they get told, no, sorry, I wasn't going for that. That's not what I wanted. You must have got mixed signals. And that's the other thing. Stop with this mixed signal shit. Start being straight with it, dude. There is no such thing as man and woman just being homies. Like, I mean, there might be some special circumstances where that's the case, but it doesn't work like that naturally. Men and women just hanging out by themselves together. What do you think that's going to lead to? We're not talking about being 16. We're talking about real life adults here, okay? That shit ain't going to, that ain't how it works. I'm not saying man and woman can't be friends. So don't give me some shit like that like I'm talking in extremes, because I'm not. I'm just saying in general, like, it'd be like if I had a wife and she was like in the crib with 3 other dudes that I don't even know. Somehow that's going to be okay? That's not okay. If you really love your man, you're not going to put yourself in that situation. You're not going to allow that boundary to be crossed. You're not going to do that. You're not going to put yourself in a situation. And even if, you know, even at your worst, you're going to be so devoted to your husband and love him so much and be satisfied with him that you're not even going to be tempted to allow yourself to be put in a situation where you're in a room with your so-called male friends alone with the door shut. That shit ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? What happened to the obvious, respectful boundaries that people inherently knew without me even having to say it? You know, like, if you're my boy and me and your girl are talking for a minute while you're in the other room, or you drive out and have to go to the store or something, most likely I'm going to get up and go to the store with you. And if for some reason I can't go to the store with you and I'm at home with your girl, we ain't going in a room by ourselves and shutting the door. I'm not laying down with her in bed because she wants me to come watch a movie with her. I fell into that trap before, where my homie's girl, homie's at work, and my homie's girl is up in her room upstairs, and she calls me up there. And I'm like, hey, what's up? What do you need? And she said, you want to watch a movie with me? And this is when I was younger and more naive about it, but I was still a believer at this time, right? I was just a little more naive. I was like, sure, I'll watch a movie with you. And she puts it was on a computer, right? And she puts the computer on my lap. I'm like, okay, hold up. And then she literally touches the mouse and grazes my gate. You know what I mean? My groin area. And I'm like, God dang it, what the fuck? And so I kind of back up a little bit, and I'm like, I don't want to be a dick. I don't want to make an assumption. I don't want to say something that she's going to sit here and deny and gaslight me about. So I just kind of scoot away a little bit. We watched the movie, and then next day, dude smelled my scent in his bed. I didn't do nothing with the girl. I'm not that kind of dude. But that's what she wanted, and I was just kind of dumb about it at this point, because I was like a baby Christian, a baby Rasta, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 years max. And I thought her and I were just homies. Like, there is no such thing. That's not how it does with girls and boys. That's not how it works. Okay? I thought we were just homies, but she had something else going on in her head. And this kind of thing happened with her twice. And I never did a thing with her. You know why? Because I'm an honorable, true homie. And I'm truly Rasta. And I'm not going to do that thing. And even if I was tempted, I wouldn't have gone through with it. You know what I mean? She could have unbuttoned my pants and I would have been like, I might have like stopped for a second and be like, okay, this has got to go. You got to go. This can't happen. You know, I would have like froze up maybe for a second, but I would be like, you can't do this. No. You know what I mean? But it never got to that point because I'm not that kind of dude. And you can trust me around your girl, okay? Nah, that you need to be having your girl around me. So she tries to pull some shit like that. And it'll be like in the Bible when Joseph is definitely not doing that. And not the Pharaoh, but Potiphar's wife maxed on Joseph and is like, if you don't get to crashing me, I'm gonna rat you out or whatever. And Joseph is like, nah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that to my master, period. He's my boss. I ain't fucking with you. You know, and he runs off and she screams and it's like, he tried to crash me. He tried to rape me, you know, basically. And then Joseph gets taken to the joint for fucking 3 years. You see what I'm saying? I mean, Jah got him out. Proved that woman to be a hoe. You see what I'm saying? Got him out, but still, I ain't getting in that situation. I ain't playing that shit. Well, back then when I watched that movie with that girl, it was like, dang. Like, and the second time something happened, this was like I'm saying, this is when I was really young in the faith. We happened to have some magic mushrooms, and me and her ate a little bit because she wanted to. She was just like, let's do it. And it had been a while since that first thing happened, right? And dude believed me that I didn't get with this girl the first time. Like, he know better, you know. He smelt me in his bed because I had either some sort of essential oil on, or I just have a strong smell at the time because I was working a lot, so I had some stanky armpits, you know what I mean? I'm Rasta, I don't wear deodorant, you know what I mean? So every once in a while you might be able to tell I'm a little ripe because I'll be working and sweating, you know what I mean? But it's like a good kind of smell. So I'm not stanky, you know what I mean? Anyways, second time, I ate some mushrooms with this girl, and I wanted to wait for dude to get home and he could eat them with us, but she insisted that we go ahead and do it. And she had never even tripped before, so I'm like, this is going to be funny. I'm going to be guiding this little lady like, you know, because I used to be into all that stuff. So this is kind of like a crossover period for me in my life where I had become a believer and I knew the truth about some of this stuff about psychedelics, but I wasn't convinced that like magic mushrooms were bad or wrong to take as a believer because God made them. But I'm different now, and I don't think Rastas or Christians have any business taking psychedelic drugs. Not without more understanding of what's going on with it. And I don't think it's okay with Jah. You see what I'm saying? But that being said, I was young in the faith at this time, and I was like, thought we eat them. And long story short, she ended up having a sign come to her for her to get a Bible and start serving Jah. But before that sign happened, she started pouring coconut oil all over her head, and she sat real close to me. And it's like she started wanting to put coconut oil all over me, and I was like, oh no, I know where this is going. So luckily I had to pee. And it was like really obvious, like the way she was talking to me. Like, why would you want to pour a bunch of coconut oil on me? I know we just took mushrooms and tripping a little bit, but that's a little wild. You know what I mean? Like, come on, girl. And so I had to pee, and I was like, whoa, I got to pee really, really, really bad. And I got up, and I ran down to the bathroom, and while I was peeing, I was just like almost in tears. I'm just like, God help me. Like, get me out of the situation. Fix this. And I prayed for her, and I was like, make her heart convicted and reverse her intentions right now, Father, because I don't even want to be put in this situation at all. It's too weird. And give her a sign to make her follow you and to reject her current trajectory, basically, and bless her heart and give her a sign. You know, I prayed that. By the time I got up to the back up to the room where we was, you know, she had already had the vision. Jah revealed himself to her in the middle of the air, as in literally the middle of the air, like the air that we breathe in the room. He revealed himself to her and called her to get a scripture and follow him. And that's just not something that happens while you're tripping balls. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying that Jah heard my prayer, reached down into the reality and the moment that we were in, and caught her ear and caught her eye and saved her from the current moment of her intentions. Okay, so that's a little testimony for y'all. Like, this kind of stuff has happened all throughout my walk as a Rasta. I have been put it's like the devil just wanted to test me my whole life and just put me to the test. And I've failed in some regards, but not full failure. Like, I'm not trying to go the wrong way, and John knows it, and the devil knows it. And he wants to just grind me down until I give in, and that's what all these situations I've been through are about. And I never give in. I stumble, but I never give in. Okay, and that's the thing is, certain people were born to do certain things, and if they do not accomplish it, it's bad. It's bad news, and that's why the devil is doing all that he can to stop these people from being who they're supposed to be, and it doesn't work for the true elect and faithful, right? The remnant. I'm a ragamuffin, man. I am rough, bro, around the edges. I have lived a crazy life. And I've been forgiven much, so I am devoted much. You understand? Understand and overstand. Jehovah's. And that's why I'm just so raw with y'all. Like, I'm not some goody two-shoes preacher. I'm not holier than thou. I'm not on nothing like that. I'm just real me, okay? I've been on the streets. I've been in all kinds of different situations. But I just want a normal life. I just want to have a wife and a child, or 2 or 3 or 4. Grow food, raise animals, work, enjoy food, enjoy beer and cannabis. I don't drink hardly ever. I drink a beer like once or twice a year, but, you know, enjoy life. I don't need a yacht. I don't need a Lamborghini. I don't care about none of that shit. I just want the basic, most important thing in life. Family. A wife. A child. A boy and a girl. Maybe triple fold. Maybe 6 kids. I don't care. Need somebody to work the farm and take care of my ass when I'm old. Because I'm going to be a needy son of a gun. I'm already hurting. I'm 40 years old. My body is killing me. My knees hurt when I wake up in the morning and I can barely walk. And I don't mean it's like that every day. I just mean, like, if I work a lot, especially doing gardening and stuff where you're on your knees all the time, or getting on your knees in gravel and rocks, and I mean, it hurts after a while, and you just can't keep going like that. Why I need a wife. It's not the only reason I need a wife, but men and women are supposed to help each other. We're supposed to be helpmeets to each other. And I just don't get y'all women out there. What is wrong with you? Y'all are passing up all this beautiful experience. And yeah, a lot of times marriage has been painted a certain way where when you go into it, you start to get disappointed because it's not really what the world has painted it as. And it's because you ain't been taught to be real about reality. Marriage can be one of the most beautiful, amazing things. I've seen it with my own eyes. With older people, like people's grandparents, stuff, married 50, 60 years, happily. Some stuff might have happened when they were younger that wasn't righteous, like, and sometimes maybe not. Like, sometimes some of these marriages were pure from the beginning to the end, but the ones that weren't, it was just like some stumbling in the beginning of the marriage. Reconciliation happened, and then loyalty and fidelity went on forward for the next 50 years without flinching. I mean, these kinds of marriages have existed for thousands of years, and it used to bring happiness to people's lives. And when the time that they're 60, 70, 80 years old, and they're just settled down with this person that has been there trustworthy their whole life, they can say, I'm happy. I'm gonna die happy. And it's all good. Like, what's so wrong with having that? Like, y'all want to throw that away for fleeting moments of just passing your pussy around to everybody in the world? And for what? Just so you can feel a few moments of ecstasy. It's the same thing with heroin. You're going to throw away your whole life because when you shoot up a really good dose of heroin or Oxycontin or some powerful opiate, it's like total euphoria and ecstasy, or whatever drug or dragon you're chasing. You see what I'm saying? It's funny, it's called chasing the dragon because that's exactly what it all is. You're just chasing the dragon. You're chasing the dragon because all you care about is pleasure in each individual second, instead of righteousness, truth, real love, devotion, real ecstasy that comes from real love with your partner. I mean, when I'm going to say your partner, I mean your actual boyfriend, your actual girlfriend, your actual wife, your actual husband. That comes from both of you interchangeably, equally in devotion and reciprocation of effort towards one another, and simple kindness and care, and you know, that dynamic is infinitely satisfactory to me, and should be to all men and women, and they are missing out. So I'm going to let it go at that. Y'all be blessed in the name of Jesus Christ.